Hi, my name is Lauren, and welcome to the latest in a series of podcasts by Freshbrook Church. If you would like to view any of our other podcasts, please feel free to log onto our Facebook page or find our YouTube channel where you'll find our podcast playlist. I hope you find what I'm about to share encouraging and thought-provoking. In the last few weeks, there's been quite a lot of rain. Sometimes we like to complain about the weather, but we especially like to complain about the rain. However, I was quite thankful for it this week, as I got to experience something quite beautiful. I looked outside my window and there I saw quite a few birds, and they were all different colours and shapes and sizes, and they were looking for worms. Now this seems quite an ordinary experience to some, but it reminded me of a Bible passage which I'm going to share with you now. It encouraged me to change my mindset, and hopefully it will encourage you to think about yours too. The passage is Matthew chapter 6, verses 25 to 34. It says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labour or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendour was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." I don't know about you, but this passage really speaks to me and my tendency to worry. As humans, we tend to be fearful, be anxious, or be worried about at least something. The first verse of this passage says, "Do not worry." And phrases like "do not be afraid" and "do not fear" are mentioned in the Bible over 300 times. So this is quite clearly an important message. The passage gives us some reasons not to worry. In particular, look at verse 26 again. This verse uses imagery of birds to show us that God is our provider and he will take care of us. The passage goes on to remind us that God says we have a great value and worth. When we are tempted to worry, it is important to remember that we are valued, cherished and loved by God. And therefore we don't have to live our lives in fear. In verse 22, it also says something comforting. God knows exactly what we'll need. These things show that God is trustworthy, compassionate and kind. He is our provider and will take care of us. Finally, in verse 33, we are given an alternative to worry. It says, "Seek first God's kingdom and his righteousness." If we prioritise God and his ways, then he will take care of us. God will provide for our needs. He will deliver us from fear and worry if we prioritise him. Also, simply by reading the Bible or talking to him honestly in prayer about how we are feeling, what our worries or anxieties are, then we can begin to learn to trust him, to open up to him and be vulnerable. To sum up, God does not promise us a worry-free life. But he does call us to remember that in our worry we can turn to him, because he is reliable and trustworthy.